About 2.5 years ago, I got pregnant with our son, Zach, through IVF. I had a relatively normal pregnancy. My water broke right on my due date in the middle of the night, and we were just so excited to find out if we were going to be having a boy or a girl. I delivered a 9-pound, 1.5-ounce baby, and that's where things got pretty intense and scary really quickly.
As we were checking out the placenta, Dr. Perkins noticed there was a pretty significant clot on it. Alicia started bleeding very profusely, and the room kind of started filling up with hospital staff, kind of everybody surrounding her. She was getting shots in either leg to try to stop the bleeding. They were calling for blood transfusions. Meanwhile, I'm holding our newborn that we'd worked so hard to get to, and it was supposed to be this beautiful moment, and it turned into the scariest, darkest moment of my life, watching my wife potentially lose her life in front of me, so.
I heard Dr. Perkins talking about taking me to the operating room, and I just begged her not to because I truly felt that I wouldn't survive a surgery. I had nothing left, and I really didn't think I would make it through that. She inserted a Bakri balloon into my uterus to help get the bleeding under control and just started blood transfusions.
I think everybody was sort of surprised at Alicia's pace of recovery, and we were able to leave after a few days with our new baby, Zach, and begin our lives as a family.
I was home for about 2 weeks when I ultimately ended up back at Women and Children's for postpartum bleeding. It was just getting really scary, and it was getting worse instead of better over the course of those 2 weeks. I really didn't want to have surgery, but I was just so thankful that both Ryan and Zach were on the Women and Children's floor, and I knew that they were being cared for while I was away from them. Once I was down there, it was not a routine surgery at all. I began hemorrhaging again.
Alicia had something very rare called placenta accreta, where the placenta actually grows into the uterus and can't be removed without hysterectomy.
Dr. Card knew that I could not afford to lose another drop of blood, so she pumped the Bakri balloon up as big as she could and then went in for an emergency hysterectomy, which ultimately saved my life.
Yeah, it was truly a life or death situation. She didn't have another option.
There was no other option.
I was so thankful that she was alive and that she was okay, and I just wanted to see her, but also it's pretty heavy news to hear that she would never be able to carry children again, and I knew that she was going to be getting informed of that as well.
And that was pretty hard to hear because I really wanted to have more children, and I knew that I was going to have another plan going forward in order to make that dream come true.
And so we basically immediately started pursuing a way to have another child, which for us would be to have a gestational carrier carry one of our embryos and deliver a baby for us.
I went to see Dr. Perkins, and I let her know that we would like to pursue the gestational carrier route, and immediately she said, "I have a name for you." She matched us with Jenna, our amazing gestational carrier who just delivered our second child a few weeks ago. The really special part was that she delivered at Wentworth-Douglass on Women and Children's, and Dr. Perkins stayed and delivered our baby, and Kathy Ruthier was in the room there, and everything just really came full circle for us.
Very full circle.
Even though the delivery that I had was not typical, I still tell people that I had an amazing experience at Wentworth-Douglass. The level of care that I received every single time I was there was always above and beyond, and the center truly feels like home to us.
Every single staff member, every doctor, every nurse was so incredible and so important to our lives that I wouldn't want to give birth to a child anywhere else.
You don't give birth.
Well, I wouldn't want to have a baby anywhere else.
You don't have a baby.